Hi Tolu, how are you?
I'm good, good, good. Good to see you. Congratulations on being BGS. I'll have to say it.
It's not that deep, but like the focus is on you today.
Of
So
course.
how does it feel to be on the other end of the table? Normally you are here.
Yeah,
How does it feel to be?
I'm not very used to it. I'm the one that is always very inquisitive to ask people questions about themselves. So this one that you're asking me questions, I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm ready. I actually want to know how it feels.
How did Tolu
Mm.
come to be? I'm talking about like childhood experiences. Like how did you
Evolve.
become Tolu? Yeah.
Okay. So the Tolu started with this boy that came into the world with everything. When I came into when I became conscious of my reality, I realized that like, I was actually born into a wealthy family of a sort. Yeah, because I had everything. I was not like the common man, of people that I used to see. Yes, I was not like the common, I was not born into a common family. So I realized that I had a dad, I had a mom, we had cars all over the compound. We had food, morning, afternoon, night. We had two house helps. I was living like a
Wow.
king.
Wow.
Yes, yes. I had a sister. We had plenty toys. It was not the common sad story that now evolved into good. But I knew that I had everything available. I went to a good school. We had good teachers. I had good experiences. We're traveling out. At some point, I was only thinking, I think a few days ago that I said, come. I started traveling solo to America when I was just 7 or 8 years old with my sister. We're going to Florida, going to New York. I said, wow, I really had a really fun childhood. So that childhood really didn't make me know that there's actually a real world out there because I had protective parents. They believed that they gave us everything in the house, so there was no reason
Go
to
out.
actually go out.
Yeah.
And so I was not really, I didn't know what Sapa was, I didn't know what it is.
Isn't that a good thing?
It was a good thing, but the story is leading me somewhere.
Okay.
So everything is going so smooth, and then there's a U-turn. So my dad falls sick in 2009 in my school, the supposed good school. He was the chairman of the Parent Teachers Association. Of course, he was doing so many great things for the school, doing donations, all of that. And then all of a sudden, he collapsed. Yes, he collapsed. They rush him to the hospital and they find out that he has a stroke. Because of the kind of protective parents I had, my mom then told them not to tell us at home. So next thing is that for the next 3 to 4 to 5 months, we don't see our father at home. And the next thing is they're taking us to boarding house. And then that was when Tolu started. That was when I became conscious that there is actually a life outside the fun and fanfare of chilling and all of that. That was the first time that I realized that somebody could actually steal your thing. In the boarding house, I was like the youngest. I was very small, with seniors and all those. I was in primary school, when this happened, and then I washed my clothes and spread it on the wire, and then they stole my clothes. I didn't have any shirts to wear to school that day. I was worried. My grades were dropping because I didn't know where my father was. The father that was protecting for me and my sister were just lost. We only see our mom once in a while. Where is daddy? They don't see anything about what happened to daddy. Is he dead? They don't see anything about it. And then so many things. I was exposed to so many things, so many languages I never knew, so many slangs I never knew. I started learning about football, both good and bad, you know. Habits that I shouldn't have formed, I formed them then, you know. But I was happy that at some point I was able to get myself back, you know. And I also took a form of responsibility because I realized that, I'm the only son of my father. And that's a big responsibility. I think that's a blessing from God. So I started taking my life very seriously. Let's say 2011, and I started becoming aligned to purpose 2011. Yeah, but that was just basically how to evolve into what it is now.
So from there, how did Tolu, the comedian, Tolu, the podcaster, Tolu, the
Famous guy. Yeah, okay, so Tolu, how did I evolve into that? So I think my epiphany was when I was watching at the Living Faith Church. They were having the 30th anniversary. This was in 2011. Yes, I'm correct. So I saw a comedian performing on stage. Yes, he was performing at the Living Faith Church. His name is Holy Malam. I had the opportunity to even tell him like 2 years ago. He was performing on stage, and then the entire 50,000 auditorium were cracking up, they were laughing, they were having a good time. Bishop Oyedepo was almost falling off his chair. And then for the first time, I heard a voice behind me, on this side of my ear, say, "You can do better."
Are you serious?
Yes.
You heard the voice?
Yes.
Wow.
I said, "Wow." I can't forget I was on the couch. He said, "You can do better." And I said, I can do better. Prior to that time, I was always the class clown. I was always funny in class. People, if I don't come to school, people are always happy. You know, I was always very funny. Any statement I made, they knew my name was always on names of noisemakers. I was also doing well academically because at least I was head boy in primary school and secondary school. So I was always cracking jokes. People were always laughing. So I was a mix of unserious and serious. And that was a problem with my mates because they were like, "You're following us to play. And you now go back and read and pass."
You were one of them.
Yes, I was a sly.
You were one of them.
Yeah, I was a sly. So the comedian parts, I now said, okay, let me pursue this thing. So I didn't pursue it. I was just nursing those feelings, doing my research underground, watching YouTube videos of comedians. I was buying CDs, spending a lot of my money on comedy CDs from Uncle Favor. Then I'll go that time. It was always cassette. I'll play it. I watched Night of a Thousand Laughs from volume 1 to volume 22.
Wow.
Yes. I knew all the jokes. I knew how the order, the formulas of how to make a joke work. At the time in 2014, we traveled to America with my parents. So I went to the library. I bought books on stand-up comedy, history of stand-up comedy, one by Judy Carter, stand-up comedy, the book. I also bought some other books. I can't even remember. Born Standing Up by Steve Martin. Yes, it was the money they gave me for my birthday. I used it to buy it. I trekked that day in Houston. I came back to Nigeria. I knew the formulas, and then for the first time, I lost the feeling. And in 2017, when we were having our prom night, I decided I was going to perform, and I performed. The video is still on YouTube. It's my oldest video on YouTube, and I cracked the entire hall up. I was making all my teachers, in secondary school, they were having a good time. They were laughing, and I was like, yes, this is what I want to do. This is who I want to be. This is where I find satisfaction and all of that. And then I said, when I get into Covenant University, where we happen to have met, I would pursue this fully. And that was the mission. The reason I went to Covenant University was to become a comedian.
I watched your interview with LCLK,
yes.
And you told him that he was the reason why.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes. So yes, that's a good. Thank you for taking it to that part. So I looked and I said, okay, I'm not the conventional comedian. I didn't come from a poor background. Most of the comedies I watched, they were like, my papa poor sote, my this one poor sote, I suffer sote. I came from a posh background, so if I was coming on stage and I was saying, oh, my papa, now my papa, they'll be looking at me, maybe my parents will be looking at me, I'm like, is this guy okay? But I knew that I could use my intelligence and my reading and my exposure to an advantage. And you can also do clean and ethical comedy and witty comedy without it. So I started doing research that who are my type of people. And then that was when I discovered people like Alibaba. Alibaba came from a okay background, and he uses English to crack his jokes. Even though he was from Ori, he could switch. I saw Damola, who happens to be my mentor. Then I started seeing some new people. I saw SLK. I saw ABA. I saw D1. I saw Imam, my God. They went to, and I was not wondering, I said, where did these guys go to? And how did they break through? I realized that they went to Covenant University. And I said, if this is the path, it's best to just follow. If ABA, SLK, D1 can go to Covenant University and make it, then if I go to Covenant University too, I think I'm on the right path. So I just told the path that they told. So I watched their videos when they were performing in chapel, tearing up. I was like, God, in that time, the chapel used to be very jam-packed. They were performing, cracking jokes. The whole place was rumbling. And I said, this is the vision. This is what I'm here to do. So when I got to Covenant University in 100 level, I had to ask them, who is the comedian in town? And they told me Ebuka Mike. And I went to go meet him.
You've always been so intentional about
Yes. That's what I was saying. 2011, I became very intentional about my life.
Talking about you being famous on campus, this is one question I wanted to ask you.
Yes.
You've always had that superstar aura. I'm not even joking. The few times I've had on campus where I had some interactions with you, I'll tell you one. One of them was you photobombing my photo shoot. By the way, guys, Tolu photobombed my photo shoot. So you don't remember. So what happened was that I wasn't smiling.
Yes.
And it was offending Kayode. Friday the
taking a
photographer.
picture, yes.
Yeah, and for some reason I can't remember why you were there.
I don't even know why I was there.
But you were just like, if I come inside that picture, you smile. That was what you said. If I come inside that picture, you said, and I was like, alright.
I don't even remember that I said that. But the thing is that I will say this, and you won't believe me. Do you know that I'm an introvert?
I do not believe that. I'm sorry. I cannot believe that.
Many of these things, many of the way I appear, I think I've exposed myself for this thing. I don't think I do a podcast, but I prefer my space. I like an alone space. If we're done with this now, if you leave me here, I can be here alone for the rest of the week. Just me alone, myself, strategizing. But I know that when I want to come out, how do I want to appear or be perceived by people? Only me knows myself. I know how I am in person. But whenever I'm outside with people, I've already designed how I want to appear. So that's where that aura comes in. So when I'm in my room, I'm like, okay, how do I want to? If people say hi to me on the road, how will I respond? So I have a response. If I know you, if I don't know you, I'll respond to you. People meet me, hi Tolu, hi, nice to meet you. Even if I don't know, I'm like, hey, how are you? It's been a while. I don't know you. It happens a lot. Even when I go to CCI, I don't know you, but I always want to make sure that they feel welcome and that I'm not the only one that is special. We're also very important. Do you understand? And we are all congenial. We are all in agreement with each other. We all form a perfect balance. Do you understand? And I never knew, because that I was taking picture with the BGS. But imagine I treated you wrongly that day. You remember it because it's good. But imagine I treated you wrongly. That's metastasizes to say you have to always have a good public image or a good persona that people will live to remember. I heard from I think Maya Angelou. People might forget what you gave them, what you said to them, but they'll never forget how you made them feel.
I wanted to ask, have you always had that superstar aura? Like, was it something you always had?
Yes. For reasons I don't know why. Do you understand? I even from primary school, when I've never nothing feeling of being in this thing. Primary school, I wanted to be an astronaut, at some point a journalist, at some point a hepatologist. That's one silly things, But for some reason, people or girls or friends would always want to hang around me or be my friend, or my name too helped me because my name was very unique. Afilaka. Where's Afilaka? And then maybe because I don't know, I'm not sounding proud. Maybe because of good looks too, it's fine. Those things help. They help build your aura, give you superstar look. And I read in the book that whatsoever is your whatsoever advantage you have, you should use it.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So if you have that look of a superstar, like now the skill you have now of drawing, you're using it to a good use. I can also draw, but you don't know. I never used it. I'm very good at drawing, at sketching. So that's superstar vibe. I think I've always had this in primary school, even in my family. That's how funny it is. My families, my relations, where's Tolu? Superstar. It's always been like that. They've always looked at me highly, and deep within myself, I don't see it. Because only me know my frailties, my weaknesses. But God has always told me, and my mom has always told me, Tolu, you are a king. People always associate with success. So whatever you do, try and make yourself a success. And that always stuck with me. So wherever I go, and with the help of Bishop Oedipo as well, I always carry myself and make myself act like a king. So the courage and everything, the way I will talk to you, the way I will address you, the way we will relate, it will never, ever, ever catch me off guard. I'll always keep my composure.
No, that's actually really nice.
Yes, I'm enjoying this.
Another question I had for you was, I was scrolling through one of your posts and there was this comment. You said something. You said there was a time you felt like giving up.
Yes.
And it was the thoughts of your siblings, people looking up to you,
Yes.
your sister,
Yes.
people looking up to you that kept you going.
Mm.
So when you walk us through maybe one of those times, what happened and how you scaled through.
For some reason, I didn't graduate when I was supposed to graduate. Nobody has ever heard this before. I'm saying this for the first time. Do you understand? I didn't graduate when I was supposed to graduate because of my project supervisor. You know, this was someone I was very nice to, very treated him well, did everything to him, but he vowed that I must have an extra year, and I did. Nobody knew. People thought I graduated, but if you check my page, you'll never see my graduation post, my portrait. You know. And then that was the time everybody now came for me and said, you see now, you they do comedy for school. If the energy you used to do comedy, you used to blah 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 blah. I said, God, this shouldn't be happening. But one thing I remembered was God telling me, I am with you. That was when I wanted to get to comedy university at 2017. I've been hearing God since, so some people I'm with you. When I was asking whether I should go, because I heard a lot of bad PR from Covenant University. They don't use phones, they do this, they'll suspend you. God told me I am with you. So regardless of whatever thing I was facing on campus, I always remember that I was with you. So when I had the extra year, I said, God, an extra year for just one course. One course. I wrote it the second time again for makeup. I still failed it.
So it was obviously...
This one was more than... it was both spiritual and both interpersonal. You know. The lecturer just vowed and said, nah, this guy, you're not graduating, say, you know. But I overcame. If people are to your disadvantage, if God wants to set you free, He also sends people. And God sent me a man. His name is Engineer John. I'll mention his name. And he told me I should not worry. He'll fix it. So that was like a period of stagnation. From people didn't know. I was still going now, doing my comedy. If you go to my page, you don't even know the period. I was going to do my comedy, this and that. But my close G's, they knew. They just kept encouraging me. Many of them were flying out, jetting out, going around, going abroad, doing their masters. And I was just in stagnation. You imagine you writing makeup and then you have to wait again for another makeup. It's crazy. Do you get? But then God sent a man to me. But God taught me in those phases. He revealed himself to me. He taught me Psalm 40. I waited patiently for the Lord and inclined and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the miry clay, because that situation was a miry clay for me, and set my feet upon a rock to stay. He has put a new song in my mouth, even praise. It says, many shall see it and fear. Immediately I finished, I finally graduated as per they gave me my certificate. I didn't attend graduation. What am I attending for? As in, they gave me my certificate, not with my colleagues. When they finally gave me my transcript and everything, my life began to scale. I started getting opportunities. I started scaling height. I started getting job offers, jobs I don't qualify for. So what I did not study in Covenant University. Money that they cannot pay me even if I have a master's in civil engineering, they can't pay me that money. I started getting it. So when God was giving me those scriptures then in 2023, I didn't understand. Because I'm like, what testimony will you give me that will make people fear? Omunachi, I'm giving him that testimony now. So.
Speaking of testimonies, you are everywhere. I mean, TEDx hosts, podcaster. Congrats, your podcast was on like top 10, by the way.
Yes, number 8.
And what would you say has been the biggest moment of your career?
Biggest moment in my career?
Yeah.
I've had many big moments too. A lot of people don't even know until I tell them, and I like it because it makes them. I'll list everything, Sha. Because one thing about me is I never do false modesty. Like I'm not one to. I'm very forthright. Yeah, because I'm proud of my work and I can walk you through the process. I've worked with all the big names in Nigeria. Alibaba, Basketmouth, AY, Bovi. I've been on all their platforms. You know, at very young ages, I was in Visa and Arrival when I was in Covenant University. I acted in Visa and Arrival Bovi series. I was on Papa Benji in Covenant University. I acted there with Nedu. The scene is still there. I was one of the finalists at Alibaba's January 1st concert. I didn't attempt and make attempts. I only went once and I qualified. I didn't win at the final for my face show, and the senior men knew me. My shoe shine. I performed at AY Live. The AY Live that I was watching when I was small. I opened it. I was introduced on stage by MC Shakara. I mentioned the high moments, featuring in all the major comedians. Okay, Channels TV, that's my high moment. Being on national television.
I saw that.
Being on national television.
I saw that.
Yes, that's my high moment.
Talent is not enough. That's one thing I've noticed. What would you say, the most audacious thing you've ever done for your career that if anybody will hear, they'll be like, wow.
Most audacious thing I've ever done for my career is entering people's DMs. Yes. You won't believe, if you go through my DMs, you won't believe it. Many of these people you see me with, all these celebrities, it's just entering their DM. I send them a message, and then maybe in the next few hours, they just respond. If you enter my DM now, I've sent Whiskey a message. Yes, that's audacity. I'm telling you the truth. People are always like, he will not reply. What if he does? I've never said no to any opportunity. Can you do it? Yes. The first time I ran a production, they asked me, can you do it? I said, yes. Me being in Basketmouth's DM, him responding to me, us texting, it would have never happened if I did not enter his DM. I probably wouldn't have even featured on his Disney if I never entered.
So Basketmouth, the opportunity for Basketmouth just came from you.
Because I entered his DM, yes.
Are you serious?
Well, I won't say it came because I still did audition, no. But he became conscious of me and like, let me give this guy an opportunity. Do you understand? It came by entering DMs. Me, I just enter people DM. Yeah.
What is the biggest life lesson you think you learned so far?
I would say one of the greatest life lessons for me is fail as much as you can. The more you fail, I can assure you, the more successes, the more closer you are to your successes. The more you fail, the more you learn better ways to do things. Think about the effect of you not taking those daring moves. How many lives is it going to affect?
So Tolu, please, this is, I don't know if it's a proper representation. I owe you a proper portrait.
No, that's fine.
This is just a scare.
Oh wow. This is me now. Guys in the studio, Abina. It's me now.
It's you like mad.
Wow. This is amazing. Oh, thank you. Guys, Monachi, I can't believe this. You were hiding this thing for because I was trying to peep. That's how I kept leaning forward and doing. Wow, this was me in 20. Funny thing, the picture is him saying the message. This was me in 2023. Yes. Because this line is not my head now.
It's your signature line. Wonder why you love it. So I put it.
Yeah.
It's always there.
Yes, it was always there. So this even sends a message because I was at a very low point in my life. This photo shoot, I didn't pay my photographer friend for it because I didn't have the money. You know, he borrowed me even if the picture you use, I think even the detail, the jackets that I wore, so if he borrowed me so I can just take a headshot and all of that. You know, many things were going through my mind. Oh well, I love it. Because I'm in a better place. You know, actually, thank you so much. I love this.
So, thank you so much for hosting us.
I'm actually 26.